Xbox showcase, you can see that Xbox has finally landed on a strategy.
Yeah, and they all did it without you. Lori, I'm an Ant-Man, disgruntled employee. Listen to me. I can't stand Sarah Ball because she's a predominant female lead of the company. I mean, I heard of women being jealous, but man, you're like in your 60s. Give it a rest, lady. You're like, what? All this stuff that you keep bringing up about the Xbox 360 was like, what, 20 years ago? Like, I mean, come on, man. You probably was nothing but a play tester anyway. And yes, you did not make the Xbox. So stop the cap, lady.
A plan for the future of Xbox.
Xbox!
It's the Xbox Anywhere plan. They're betting the entire business on Game Pass and leaving the hardware innovation to their partners at ASUS.
But it's been like that. What are you talking about? Nintendo used AMD with the GameCube. Microsoft used PowerPC with the 360. Then they went with the AMD, which PlayStation 4 followed suit. Because you know why? All you people keep talking about custom chips, and custom chips. Well, guess what? Every time a system used custom chips, have you noticed that those systems have failed? The PS3 was hard to make games for. See, this is what you guys don't understand about this whole custom chip, is the fact that you got to make your games accessible to the people that want to make games for it. So the fact that Microsoft is partnering with AMD or Asus or whoever to come out with these products is even more of a reason as to why these games will continue to run better. This whole custom chipset is a way for them to monopolize the market. So what they can see, this is what y'all don't understand what PlayStation tried to do with the PS3. They try to come with the cell process and all these custom chips, right? Just so you guys can buy that and Microsoft will get left out in the dust. But Microsoft was smart. They're like, no, let's make something for third party. Let's make it easy to develop games for. No different than what Sony did with the PlayStation 1. And the market will gravitate towards us. So all this custom chipset crap, cell processors, all this nonsense that you people keep spewing about is for absolutely nothing. Even Nintendo went with AMD architecture with the GameCube. Like, what? Like, what are you complaining about, lady?
This wasn't surprising. Hardware is expensive to make. It's
not surprising considering that PS4 and even PS5 all use the same architecture. Like, what are you talking about, people? Like, this is why I get confused. Y'all like, oh, it's just an Airbox with, it's just a AMD box with the Xbox label. Then that same thing can also apply to the PS5, though. I'm looking at it right now, and I just see the PlayStation 5 logo on the top. Like, okay, are we really out here fighting over stamps on a product?
Here to slap an Xbox sticker on an existing piece of hardware.
What do you mean? Because that's been going on since the very beginning of console gaming. This is why people try to tell you that consoles ain't nothing but restricted and limited PCs. Okay? PCs are the founder. Okay? That's what you people don't understand. All these consoles that you play on more than likely use PC gaming architecture in the first place. So all this talk about custom chip this, custom chip that, cell processor this, bro, it's all nonsense. At the end of the day, you got people like Asus or whatever, AMD, whoever, I don't care what these names, that are doing these things anyway. Why would Microsoft even care enough to do custom chips? But they are partnering with these people to make sure that their games still continue to run on it. What's the point? Oh, because it's got their name on it. All they did was slap their name. What do you mean? Because that's all this has ever been anyway.
Hardware and call it a day. It requires very little effort in comparison.
Very little effort. Well, there you go. She just explained a console in a nutshell, but okay.
And if you don't care about console sales or exclusive games anymore, it requires very little effort in comparison. And if you don't care about console sales or exclusive games anymore...
But what's exclusive, though? Even PlayStation 5 games are popping on PC. You see, have you noticed something? That ever since Microsoft decided to open up their platform, now we got people disgruntled Xbox employees that work there. That was 20, 30 years ago, lady. That's not how gaming is anymore. Because these same exclusive games that you're talking about ain't even selling on PlayStation. Things have changed, lady. What do you not understand? I mean, imagine coming out with an exclusive. Do you think Fortnite is popular because the game is exclusive to a platform? Or do you think it's popular because it's on every other platform? See, this is the problem with you people. You guys are stuck in the Stone Age, and the fact that you're still console warring at the age of, 60 or possibly even 70, just goes to show you that you never shared any vision of what Microsoft had at the company.
Why bother innovating in hardware?
What's innovative about hardware? What's innovative about PS4 using AMD? What's innovative about PS5 using AMD? What's innovative about Xbox using the same exact hardware that's in the PS4 and 5? What's innovative about that? All they're doing is partnering with these companies to guarantee and make sure, which also shows you that they're still very much involved in these platforms that are coming out, and you people are getting angry about it. All because PlayStation games are going to be available on this handheld right here that you guys keep calling a ROG Ally, but not an Xbox one, even though the Xbox insignia is right there in the Xbox controller layout, buttons, configuration, and everything. I mean, it was even showcased on the Xbox channel, but yet it's not an Xbox. Okay.
It's a great message for gamers. Who doesn't want to play their games with their family and friends on any device and any platform? But that's all.
Apparently you don't.
It is. It's marketing. It's style, not substance. Just because you say something, it doesn't mean that you can do it. And it also doesn't mean that you won't change your mind.
They've already done it, though. What are you talking about, bro? Like, I understand. I'm not trying to knock this woman's accomplishments, but what are you talking about? You say that Microsoft never did it, but that's exactly what they're doing.
After all, Xbox has been pivoting a lot lately.
Oh, yeah. And PlayStation 5 sure has been pivoting, too, by putting their games on PC, which a lot of people thought. There's been a lot of pivots here, lady. Let's also talk about Marathon also potentially dropping. Well, not even potentially, is dropping on the Xbox as if the game don't get canceled or not. What are you talking about pivoting? You're going as far to act like PlayStation 5 is doing exclusives, and they're not doing them either. So you can say whatever you want, but as far as I can tell, exclusives don't matter.
That's me. And you're probably wondering how I ended up here. Well, it's pretty standard.
Remember when they talked about the importance of high-quality games, but then shut down the studio that made Hi-Fi Rush? What about Game Pass? One of the defining features was...
I mean, it happens every day. I'm sorry to say it, guys. Games get canceled. Not defending it. Like I said, I know a lot of people liked it, but also, too, Shinji Mikami left the company. He was the founder of Tango Gameworks. I mean, I know we can sit there and cap or damage control for it, but the lead director, the lead person that led that company left. Do you get what I'm saying? All I can say is that they shut down this particular studio, but allocated all the talent to different departments of the company. That's probably more likely what happened. So the same talent that you guys keep saying that was lost is just working under different studios. This is why I don't understand why you people keep complaining about this crap. It's stupid.
Day one games. And now there are tiers that don't offer the feature at all.
Oh, yeah. Let's act like Nintendo's not doing tier system. You know, when Nintendo Switch Online with the expansion pass. Let's also act like Sony don't have 3 different tiers. Essential, Extra, and Premium. But yet, if Microsoft has 2 different tiers, oh, that's a problem. Yeah, let's talk about how PlayStation 5's 3 different tiers that barely offer anything remotely close to what you're getting on Xbox Game Pass. Let's keep it 100, man. This ain't fanboy. This is keep it 100. You're paying what? The same for premium, and you're getting day and date trials, 2-hour trials to games, while Xbox is getting full game experiences. Like what? Okay.
Last year, Phil expressed how $70 pricing could feel manipulative to gamers, and now he's on board with charging $80 for Outer Worlds 2.
Well, we already know why they doing that. Oh, yeah, look at all that money coming down. Yeah, what was all that money coming down when the Switch 2 came out, and now they're raising up the prices in Canada? Yeah, it's always been about money. And it's been about money even when you was at the company. Don't sit there and say it wasn't. Don't sit there and tell me that you work for Microsoft and they get any of these $100 bills falling down on my screen. Okay? You people want to be oblivious to this. That's exactly what these companies are here for, to make money. Now, mind you, if I agree with something, I either put my money where my mouth is and support it. And if I don't, I choose to vote with my wallet and don't buy it. It's that simple, lady. I mean, I don't understand how you used to work with Microsoft. Oh, that's the problem. Because you worked with Microsoft during its heyday, you know, when everything was great and everything was simpler. Well, guess what? The things that happened 20 years ago are clearly not happening now. You know, you didn't have to compete with free-to-plays. You didn't have to compete with all different types of games. You didn't have to. There was no such thing as a free-to-play market. People had no other option but to buy games during your reign, Laura. You should know better than this. And let's be honest, you're just mad because Sarah Bond made it to a position that you wish you ever had. That's all it is. Because we already know women can be spiteful like this, and that's exactly what it is. That should have been me. I was doing the original Xbox in 360. I should be the head president of Microsoft, not Sarah Bond. That's what Laura's saying. Just say that. Just be upfront. Just be honest.
From my perspective, the Xbox strategy has been chaotic, so it's hard to say exactly what they'll do next. But assuming they stick with Xbox Anywhere, it's really left me wondering.
She knows she's lying.
Will the latest announcement drive more gamers to Game Pass? Will they be able to convince gamers that the Xbox ROG Ally is a good idea? And what is going to happen with the hardware?
What's wrong with an Xbox ROG Ally, but then you have no problem with a regular ROG Ally? Like, I just don't get it. You guys have no problem with a Steam Deck, Lenovo, and all this, but as soon as the Xbox puts a name on it, like you guys claim, that now there's a problem? Like, this is stupid.
And software teams that aren't delivering right now in the Xbox.
Oh, really? Software teams that are... Really? You really want to take that stance? Now, mind you in the wrong field, lady.
Will they be able to convince gamers that the Xbox ROG Ally is a good idea? And what is going to happen with the hardware and software teams that aren't delivering right now in the Xbox?
The software teams are not delivering right now. Are you honestly going to sit here with a straight face and tell us that the software's... Okay. Are you serious? Do we have to go through the list of games? Clockwork Revolution, Fable, Gears Z-Day. We can even count the PlayStation ones if you want. Gears of War Reloaded, Forza Horizon 5, Elder Scrolls Oblivion. What are we? South of Midnight, Ninja Gaiden 4, Outer Worlds 2 that you brought up at $80. What are you talking about? If anything, Microsoft has been dropping more games ever since the acquisition than when they didn't. I really don't think Activision or Bethesda would have been pumping this many games if it wasn't for Microsoft acquiring the studio, because now they have a reason to make games. Do you get what I'm saying? They would have made one and just be like, okay, they could still play Skyrim. I don't even think we would have gotten an Elder Scrolls 6, to be honest with you, Laurie. And you was out here complaining because of my exclusive. Like, bro, this is why you people are being the laughing stocks of the gaming community, because nobody takes what you people say seriously anymore. And you're just mad because Sarah Bond is the head president while you was out here the head president of your household, taking care of your grandchildren. I get it. I like grandma cookies too. You can make me some with some milk specifically.
Xbox team, are they going to get caught up in the layoffs that Microsoft just announced are coming? For context, let's talk about why.
Speaking of layoffs, didn't you get laid off? 20-year ago layoff. Where was this when the Xbox One was out? Where was you when Xbox really needed your help? Yeah, right. We already know why these videos are coming out, because you guys know Xbox is going to be at its strongest. That's what you guys are afraid of. And they're all going to be stronger without you, Laurie.
Dominated the office, but Sony owned the living room and was taking a serious bite out of the PC gaming market.
Yeah, you heard what you said? Keyword. PC gaming market. Now, Laurie, is that happening right now? Oh, did you hear what you just said? Because PC gaming is actually becoming more popular than it's ever been. You heard that. PlayStation was owning the living rooms, and they took a huge portion of what, guys? I know, during the PS2, PC gaming. This is when I was telling you when PC gaming was dying. That's what I was, remember? GameStuH with another W. And that's why Microsoft came up with the idea of the Xbox.
When Xbox launched, there were at least 125 million PlayStations available. And there was a reason for that.
What? Huh? What? Okay.
It's taking a serious bite out of the PC gaming market. When Xbox launched, there were at least 125 million PlayStations available.
You talking about PlayStation 1? I don't know, what? I'm so... Because it's definitely not PlayStation 2. Yeah, of course, lady. The PlayStation 1 came out in 1994. Of course there would be more PlayStation 1s than Xboxes. Xbox just made their first console. What are you talking about? Because we know damn well it ain't PS2. Because PS2 just came out around the original Xbox time. Hold on, I'm just going to assume it's PlayStation 1. That's all I'm going to say.
And there was a reason for that. Gamers could just plug in the PlayStation and the games worked. They didn't have to worry about why that piece of software on their Windows system didn't play nice with the other piece of software, and why their video card wasn't working, or that they needed an updated driver.
So you're explaining a console. Okay.
It was simple.
This is how you share your games on PS4. Thanks.
Of course,
Yeah, just to find out that that's an utter lie. You know, Mr. CMOS Battery himself. You know, and look at that. Look at the PlayStation sucker right there being handed his copy of a physical copy of a game with a CMOS battery and a disk drive that needs to be synchronized online with the PS5. Bro, look at that. He looks like a PlayStation dummy.
at that time, game developers actually listened to their customers and they would follow them. With all of these gamers going to PlayStation, game developers started trying to climb the hill.
And what type of hardware did PS4 use to be successful? Oh, that's right. The same hardware that Xbox did with the Xbox One. Matter of fact, I think Sony was inspired to do that, considering that they had hardware issues with the PS3 and how third parties said it was hard to make games for. PlayStation has actually always had, you know what's funny? Y'all say that PlayStation is known for hardware. That's an utter lie. Because the PS2 was hard to develop games for. Companies stood by it because of how successful the PS1 was and how well the PS2 sold. That's why they stuck strong by it. But a lot of developers will tell you that the PS2 was hard to develop games for. PS3, another custom chip, custom hardware, cell processor, another system that was hard to develop games for. That's why some of the ports ran better on 360 than they did on the PS3. And it was only until PlayStation copied Microsoft with PC architecture with AMD as to where PlayStation has been successful. Have you noticed that? And ever since, PlayStation has been using the same approach as Xbox when it comes to their hardware and their consoles. GameStuH with another W.
Of learning the PlayStation. And if they could do that, then they...
The only times PlayStation made an accessible console for themselves was the PS1. That was the only time.
Didn't have to worry after they made their game about testing all of those hardware and software compatibility issues that plagued the Windows ecosystem. It just worked.
Yeah, but like, why are we talking about this, bro? Why we looking at Dwayne Hollywood, bro? I'm passing this. Hold on.
Hardware team.
Oh, here we go.
Worried.
If what you was, and guess what? You got laid off.
So there isn't going to be any killer game that drives me to buy this handheld, and that's okay, right? Because Xbox Anywhere means that I'm going to be able to play all my Xbox games and PC games on my handheld. And that right there could be a big selling point. Except it looks like that might not be the case. There's been by making this a very inexpensive handheld. I personally don't think this is likely to happen. Remember, the Xbox ROG Ally is essentially a reskin of an existing product.
Reskin.
Their cheapest version of the ROG Ally is around $600. I'd be able to lower. It's unlikely to be the thing that brings gamers to buying the handheld.
You know, the funny thing is, this is what you people keep doing, man. You guys keep worrying about Xbox and how they do. At the end of the day, custom chipset or not, PlayStation, if they keep doing, I don't think PlayStation, they might do custom chipset with the PS6, but what significance is it really going to play? What you guys don't understand, that Microsoft is digging deeper into the hardware, which means that they're going after other platforms, which is what PC, we might even see better ports on PC because of this. And guess who's going to get left out with their little custom chipset with pisser technology? Oh yeah, that's right, PlayStation. Because I can tell you right now, that custom chipset that you guys keep bragging about is only going to hurt Sony in the end. Because you got to remember, Sony copies Microsoft when it comes to hardware. PS2 was hard to develop for. PS3 was hard to develop for. It took it to the PS4, which was similar to the Xbox One with its AMD architecture, for them to actually start getting good ports and good games for their platform. Y'all know it. Cut the cap. You guys want to keep saying, so Sony's good with hardware. Sony hasn't been good with hardware since PlayStation 1. Sony's hardware has been bottlenecked to oblivion, and the only reason why third parties stay strong, but you already knew when that 360 came out with the Power PC, oh, they abandoned y'all. And Sony said to themselves, we will never do this again. We'll copy Microsoft in regards to their hardware, so we make sure that we're not left out again. We make sure that we get good ports just like they do. This is what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, does it really matter about who's making custom chipsets or not? Microsoft is endorsing the product. Microsoft has helped working on these, and they will continue to work on these products in partnership with AMD. And there you go. That's the only thing that us gamers need. This whole, was it have a label? Bro, that's stupid. What are you guys arguing about? Like, I'm never going to understand. It's like arguing about a Panasonic 3DO and a Gold Star 3DO. Would you say that it's not a 3DO? Oh, it is a 3DO. Or a Sega Sega JVCXI over a Sega CDX. Oh, that's not a... What? It's still a Sega CD, man. Oh, but it's made by JVC, though. All right, you know what? At this point, I don't care, bro. I'm tired. Or, you got a Hitachi Saturn? I got a Sega Saturn. Okay. Yeah, my Saturn's Samsung. They're still Sega Saturns, right? Yeah, but they're manufactured by different companies. But it's still both. They still play Sega games, though, right? Yeah. So it's a Sega Saturn. Oh, no, it's a Hitachi Saturn. But it plays Sega Saturn games. But it says Hitachi. All right, you know what? At this point, then have it, bro. Have it. Whatever this console war crap that y'all talking about, y'all sound stupid. Any real gamer knows that, yeah, GameStuH, that does make sense. You will not hear a person say that's not a Sega Saturn because it has a different logo on it, like Hitachi or Samsung. And Sega did do this. Sega, and this is why I try to tell you guys say that Sega and Microsoft's vision wasn't the same, but Sega did it with the Sega Saturn. Y'all like, oh, snap, GameStuH, you're right. Panasonic did it with, the 3DO did it with Panasonic and Gold Star. What are you talking about? Sega did it with JVCXI. What are y'all talking about? Oh, Sega. This is why I try to tell you, Sega and Microsoft are very similar. But you guys sit there and say they're not. Like, I don't get it, man.
Really no reason to buy this handheld.
Oh, look at that. That's me in the background. Is that Lori right there? Look at that. It don't look like you doing nothing.
Obviously, as one of the founding members of the Xbox team, I'm not pleased with where things are.
But you're not the creator. What do you mean founding members? The person that was on the sideline testing out all the games? I mean...
Today, I don't love watching all of the value that I helped create slowly get eroded away.
Well, what you mean? You didn't create the Xbox. You did not create the Xbox. Let's hear this again.
Xbox team, I'm not pleased with where things are today.
You're not pleased because you're not there. That's all it is. You sound like a disgruntled employee.
I don't love watching all of the value that I helped create slowly get eroded away.
Let me explain that real quick. Hold on.
The Xbox?
Let me explain that real quick. Corroded away? Let me explain that for a minute. What are you talking about, lady? Halo, Gears, Fable, all these games that you once, I don't even... Listen, you might have been involved with it, but you did not make and develop these games. So let's keep it official. So, you saying that all the stuff that you work, mind you, you're not the only person that worked on these things, and you're not the creator of Xbox. Keep telling yourself that. You are founding mother of the platform. You did not create the console, okay? You have no reason as to why the console existed in the first place. You was around the tables, okay? That's all it is. No disrespect. Not saying you weren't involved with some of the decisions that were being made, but you had no real impact. And you want to sit there, and even if you say you did, then you got to question the fact that, what are you talking about? Gears of War still exists. Halo still exists. All the games that you was around are still very much here. So much so that even on PlayStation, 20 years from now, Laurie, that your legacy still lives on. Being a part of the Gears development team working on that same game. So the 360 still lives far deep, even in the heart of PlayStation fans, as much as you want to still cap for that. Okay? So I don't understand. Let me explain something. You want to know what corrosion is? You want to know what's eroding, whatever you said? You want to know what is? PlayStation. People growing up on Killzone don't exist. SOCOM don't exist. Sly Cooper don't exist. Jack and Daxter don't exist. Extermination don't exist. Little Big Planet, the main franchise, don't exist. PlayStation All-Star Royale don't exist. MAG don't exist. Heavenly Sword don't exist. Folklore don't exist. PlayStation's own NBA titles don't exist. Blasto don't exist. Tumba got a remaster, but don't exist. Astro's Playroom needs to be called Astro's Graveyard of all the PlayStation games that don't have sequels. Resistance don't exist. Y'all like, damn, games. So Warhawk don't exist. Starhawk don't exist. So you want to sit there talking about my legacy has left and it's all being ruined, then you got to look no further than PlayStation and say to yourself, where's these franchises? Say what you want about Xbox, but Fable does exist. Gears of War does exist. Halo does exist. Forza does exist. And they're adding and expanding. Now, mind you, there's a few games that did get canned, like Project Gotham Racing, which was another great racing game. But like I said, these things do happen. It's just like with Nintendo, how they don't want to focus on other games, but they want to focus on Mario and put Mario in Odysseys, Galaxies, parties, and even racing on carts. Okay, let's put Mario in everything. Right? We get it. They go where the fans are going to buy the certain games. That's fine. But to each their own. Microsoft has done a better job at salvaging their franchises than Sony. And you people know this. You know it. Gravity Rush don't exist. I heard they're going to do a remaster though, but I'm just saying. Infamous don't exist. Got replaced by Spider-Man in the spandex. What are you talking about? My legacy is gone. It's been erased. What? What about my PlayStation franchises that got erased? That we won't ever see sequels because Sony's so caught up they behind that they think people care about exclusive games like you said, which is Sony's downfall. It is. Exclusives is the reason why PlayStation will never be the same. Even with games going to PC. We don't see Starhawk and Warhawk because there ain't enough of y'all on PlayStation that are going to support these games. But then they continue to cry, where my SOCOM? Where my Resistance? Where my Killzone? But all because they want exclusivity. Poof. There goes all your games gone. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. I know this was a good one. Ain't nobody trying to downplay this lady and her accomplishments. But let's not act like you're one of the founding mothers of the Xbox platform. Take care.